You're walking around with a mental courtroom in your head, and you're both the prosecutor and the judge. But what if I told you that you're also holding the key to dismiss every case? This is what we're exploring today, how your salvation, your peace, your freedom from suffering, comes entirely from your own mind, not from anything or anyone outside you. It reveals that guilt and healing exist in the same place, your thoughts, which means you have complete power over both. We spend our lives looking everywhere else. We look to our relationships to save us from loneliness. We look to our careers to save us from insignificance. We look to our possessions to save us from emptiness. But here's what we're missing. The very act of searching outside ourselves is what keeps us trapped. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's sitting at her desk when an email pops up from her coworker about the project deadline. 2 sentences. Hi Sarah. Just checking on the timeline for Friday. Let me know if you need anything. Her stomach drops. Her mind immediately starts building a case. That period instead of an exclamation point. She's angry. She didn't say, thanks, like she usually does. She's checking up on me because she thinks I'm behind. Everyone probably thinks I'm not pulling my weight. Within minutes, Sarah has constructed an entire prosecution. She's replaying every interaction from the past month, finding evidence of her inadequacy. She's texting friends for reassurance. She's mentally rehearsing her defense for a trial that hasn't even been scheduled. But here's what's actually happening. Sarah is wearing 3 robes at once. She's the prosecutor, building a case against herself. She's the defendant, desperately trying to prove her innocence. And she's the judge, preparing to deliver a verdict she's already decided. The email, it was about logistics. The entire 300-page drama, the stomach-churning anxiety, the frantic search for character witnesses, all of it was happening in the courtroom of her mind. This is where we get trapped. Sarah does what we all do. She starts looking outside the courtroom for salvation. She texts her friend, "Does this email sound passive-aggressive to you?" She reviews her recent work, trying to find proof she's doing a good job. She considers bringing coffee to her coworker tomorrow, hoping kindness might overturn whatever verdict is coming. But think about this. If you're the one running the trial, why are you looking everywhere except the judge's bench for mercy? We do this constantly. We feel guilty about something. Maybe we snapped at our partner. Maybe we missed a deadline. Maybe we just have that vague sense that we're not enough, and then we search frantically outside ourselves for absolution. We need our partner to forgive us before we can forgive ourselves. We need our boss to praise us before we can stop prosecuting ourselves. We need the universe to send us a sign that we're okay. But the courtroom is in our mind. The prosecution is in our mind. The judgment is in our mind. Which means, and this is the part that changes everything, the power to dismiss the case is also in our mind. Here's the revelation that stops people cold. You've been the judge all along. Not just the prosecutor building cases against yourself. Not just the defendant scrambling for evidence of your worth. You're wearing the robes. You're holding the gavel. Sarah realizes this 3 hours into her anxiety spiral. She's exhausted from building her case, defending herself, and searching for external validation. And then it hits her. She's the only one in the courtroom. Her coworker isn't there. Her boss isn't there. The email was never evidence in any real trial. She created the entire system. which means she can dismiss the case. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't pretending the email didn't happen or that workplace dynamics don't exist. This is recognizing that the courtroom where she's been suffering exists entirely in her mind. The guilt she's been feeling, she assigned it. The verdict she's been fearing, she's the one who would deliver it. When you truly grasp that nothing external can save or destroy you, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the author of your own peace. So how do you dismiss a case you've been running for years? How do you step down from a bench you didn't even know you were sitting on? It starts with recognition. Sarah looks at the email again. 2 sentences about logistics. That's all it ever was. Everything else, the prosecution, the defense, the character assassination, the desperate search for acquittal, all of it came from her. And if it came from her, it can be released by her. This is what it means to be in charge of the universe, not in some grandiose way, but in the only way that matters. You're in charge of the meaning you assign. You're in charge of the verdicts you deliver. You're in charge of the cases you choose to run or dismiss. The relief is immediate, not because the external world changed. The email still says the same thing. Her co-worker still has the same tone, but because Sarah stops putting herself on trial. She responds to the email with the timeline. That's it. No defense needed. No prosecution running. Just a simple response to a simple question. The courtroom goes quiet. Not because she won the case, but because she dismissed it. This changes how you walk through the world. When you know the courtroom is in your mind, you stop being afraid of what might convict you out there. You stop searching for judges in every interaction. You stop building cases from every sideways glance or terse text. You realize that your salvation, your peace, your freedom from the endless trials, was never out there. It couldn't be. How could something outside your mind dismiss a case that's running inside it? How could anyone else bang a gavel that exists in your thoughts? This doesn't mean you become indifferent to the world or to others. It means you stop making them responsible for your internal verdicts. You stop needing them to save you from yourself. Sarah still cares about her work. She still wants good relationships with her colleagues. But she's no longer running trials in her mind where they're unwitting witnesses in cases they don't even know exist. She's free. Not because she was acquitted. Not because someone else saved her, but because she finally realized she could take off the robes, step down from the bench, and walk out of the courtroom she'd been maintaining. Your mind might resist this. It might say, but what about real guilt? What about when I've actually done something wrong? Here's what's profound. Even then, the courtroom is in your mind. Even then, you're the one assigning meaning, delivering verdicts, determining sentences. Even then, your peace comes from recognizing that you hold the power to forgive yourself, not arrogantly, not carelessly, but with the simple recognition that if you're the judge, you can choose mercy. The invitation is this: notice the trials you're running. Notice how your prosecutor, defendant, and judge. Notice how you search everywhere except your own bench for salvation, and then realize, maybe for the first time, that you can dismiss the case. You always could. The gavel has been in your hand all along. Before we move into the meditation, if this is helping you, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. It's a simple way to keep practicing together. Let yourself settle into this moment. Feel your body finding its place, whether sitting or lying down. There's nothing to fix, nothing to arrange perfectly. Just let yourself arrive. Take a breath that feels good to you. Not forced, not controlled. Just a breath that your body wants to take. And as you exhale, let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release. Let the muscles around your eyes relax. Notice your mind right now. Is there a trial running? Is there a case being built about something you did or didn't do? Something you said or should have said? Just notice. You don't need to stop it. Just see it for what it is, a courtroom in your mind. Feel where that trial lives in your body. Maybe it's a tightness in your chest. Maybe it's a knot in your stomach. Maybe it's tension in your shoulders. Just notice where you carry your verdicts. Now imagine, just for this moment, that you could set down the prosecutor's brief. All those carefully collected pieces of evidence against yourself. All those arguments you've been preparing. What would it feel like to set him down? Breathe into that possibility. You don't have to believe it yet. Just feel what it might be like. Now the defender's case. All those justifications and explanations. All that exhausting work of proving your worth. What if you could set that down too? What if you didn't need to defend yourself right now? Let another breath move through you. Soft and easy. And now the judge's robes. That heavy responsibility of deciding your own worth, your own guilt, your own sentence. What if you could take them off? What if you could step down from that bench you've been sitting on? Feel your body in this moment. Feel the quiet when the courtroom empties. No prosecution. No defense. No judgment. Just you. Breathing. Being. This is what it feels like when you're not on trial. This is what it feels like when you dismiss the case. This quiet. This relief. This simple presence. You might notice your mind wanting to start a new trial. That's okay. You know what it is now. You know you hold the gavel. You know you can choose. Rest here for a moment more. In this space beyond guilt and innocence. In this quiet courtroom where no cases are running. Where you are neither prosecutor nor defendant nor judge. Where you are simply here. Simply breathing. Simply free. When you're ready, take a deeper breath. Feel your body here. Feel the surface beneath you. And know that this freedom is always available. The courtroom only exists when you convene it. The trial only runs when you allow it. The verdict only comes when you deliver it. You are free. You always were. The gavel is in your hand. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. Carry this quiet with you. Thank you for spending this time in practice. A free digital ACIM resource is linked in the description if you'd like it. And if you wish, you're welcome to comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here. For giving yourself these moments of recognition and release. As you move back into your day, remember, every trial in your mind is one you're running. And every case can be dismissed with a single decision. Be gentle with yourself. You're learning to step down from a bench you've been sitting on for a very long time. Until next time, may you walk a little more freely.